Welcome to the Best Fit, a series where we find the best landing spots for impending free agents. And today, this episode features, as you already know, Le'Veon Bell. Now, last week it came out, he's a free agent. No more franchise tags, no transitional tags, none of that. Le'Veon Bell is on the market. So that leaves the question to be asked, man, where is the best fit for Le'Veon Bell? I have a few teams in mind. Now, three of these places I feel like he can go and he'll win right away. One of these places he'll get a huge payday. He may not win right away, but it all depends on what he's looking for, man. If he wants to win, I got a few spots for him, man. One of these spots he can win and get paid. But let's hop into it. We're going to start off in Indianapolis. So starting off in Indy, they have over $100 million in cap space. So this is a great place for L. Bell if he wants to get his money and win right away. He has Andrew Luck, the franchise quarterback. We all know he has a running mate in Marlon Mack who can help take the load off of him. And also at receiver, you have T.Y. Hilton and a few of these other guys, man. They played big last year. The Colts was a good team. Also at tight end, you have Doyle and Ebron, who had a monster year last year. So 10 wins. I feel like 10 wins is nothing for a team of this stature. Now, this is Madden. This is not, bringing into account how well the defense played throughout the season, how well Darius Leonard played throughout the season. But we simulate Andrew Luck threw for 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 19 picks. Completed 64% of his passes. Now, 19 picks, that's high. But I guess if you throw 30 touchdowns, it's okay. So let's check Le'Veon Bell. He ran the ball 147 times. Ran for 1,072 yards, 12 touchdowns. Marlon Mack had just under 1,015 touchdowns, 27 between the two. Le'Veon Bell, he might want to take that trip to Indy, man. He has a backup running back who we saw last year. He can make some plays. He can carry the load, man. So you put those two guys in the backfield, and you never know what could happen. Now, we'll look at L. Bell receiving stats. He only had 4 catches for 91 yards. Madden doesn't really account for his receiving ability, but hey, what can you do? Now let's go to the Steelers, see how James Conner did. He ran for 866 yards. Now, he scored 5 touchdowns, but he also had Jalen Samuels run for 7 touchdowns. So he had a little help. Big Ben threw for 3,700 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 11 picks. So with all the stats being shown, did we make the playoffs? Did the Colts even win the division? Like, how many games did we win? Let's find out. So, after Big Ben decides to get off my screen, we're tired of looking at your stats. The Colts won 10 games. They won the division at 10-6. Jacksonville came in second at 10-6. And then you see Houston at 9-6-1. Also made the playoffs. So 3 teams out of the South made the playoffs. We win the division, so we get the home game. You see the Titans finished last at 3-13. Let's check the North. The Browns win at 11-5. The Bengals at 8-8, tied with the Steelers at 8-8. And then Baltimore goes 5-10-1. So now we're in the playoffs. The Chargers beat Houston 24-21. The Rams beat Detroit 35-10. The Colts beat the Jaguars in the first round 20-20. And Philadelphia beats Atlanta. Now, the Colts do lose to New England, so they second round where they playoff woes against New England continues. The Rams beat the Saints. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Okay, Cleveland beats the Chargers, and then Philadelphia beats Seattle 35-7. Cleveland stomps New England 35-14, and the Rams win 21-0. The Rams win the Super Bowl. I'm also leave that one alone. So you know what? Indy is a good spot. If he wants to get paid, he wants to win right away. They have a great offensive line. They can do some great things in Indy, man. But now, let's push it to Houston. So, staying in the South, Houston, they have $77 million in cap space. But they really depend on what they want to do with Clowney. They might bring back Tyrann Mathieu. You never know. Have Deshaun Watson. He also has another decent running mate in Lamar Miller, but they have Foreman and Blue, so they have a stable of backs that can help take the load off of them. We know we have DeAndre Hopkins, that monster. Demaryius Thomas, yes, he got cut. I'm keeping him on the team just for this. It is what it is, okay? So we have tight ends, not that great. 11 wins with a team of this caliber. With all the talent that the Houston Texans have, and you add L. Bell to it, 11 wins should be no problem. So as we go ahead and simulate, I know, you know what, I'm just going to show y'all And I'm gonna let y'all see what happened, right? So the Houston Texans come out. I wish this load screen hurries up. I need to cut my clips. Deshaun Watson throws for 600 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 7 picks. Completed 67%, 40 touchdowns and 7 picks. Does L make that big of a difference? He ran for 964 yards, 11 touchdowns. Lamar Miller chipped in with another 593, 6 touchdowns. And then Foreman, he didn't run for many yards, but he also had 4 touchdowns. So the running game was there. As you saw, the passing game was there. Now, we'll go check his receiving stats, but again, you see Hopkins was over 1,000. But doesn't really account for his receiving ability. 8 for 113 and touchdown. We'll take it. So James Conner missed 1,000 yards by 1 yard. He had a good year, man. 10 touchdowns. Really had a great year. 259 carries. Great job. He had, 62 yards a game, something like that. I checked his receiving stats. Again, it doesn't really do a great job counting running back receiving stats in this game. But Ben threw for another 3,700 yards, 23 touchdowns, 15 picks. The Texans win the division at 13-3. Going away, man. It's not even close. The Titans come in second, 7-9. Jacksonville and Indy finish at 5-11. So let's check the North. The Browns win it again at 11-5. The Ravens come in second, 10-6. The Bengals 4-11-1, and the Steelers at 4-12. Now for this, I turned injuries off. So injuries, it had nothing to do with it. You see, Cleveland beat Baltimore 33-30. New Orleans beat Philly 37-31. The Chargers blew out 38-0. And then Seattle beats Minnesota 26-0. So New England beats the Chargers. The Rams beat the Saints. Cleveland and Houston, they had a shootout, man. 2-34. That was a shootout, man. But Cleveland does beat them. And then Atlanta beats Seattle 31-21. Now Cleveland again blows out New England, and that game was in New England. And then Atlanta beats the Rams, but Cleveland just falls short and loses in the Super Bowl 17-14. So far, after 2 teams in the South, both coming with success, Houston seems to be the best fit right now. But I think this next one is going to be a good one. It'll be a good storyline, and I know a lot of people will love it. But for sure, it'll make for a great 2 games a year, maybe 3 if both teams was to make the playoffs. Let's say L. Bell goes to Baltimore. Now, we saw Baltimore's offense last year, right? They had a run game that was tops in the league, man. But first of all, before I even get into all that, we got to get rid of Joe Flacco. So we're going to make the trade that actually happened in real life. As a Broncos fan, I still don't know how I feel about it, but it is what it is. We give up that 4th round pick. Y'all have whatever, okay? But with that run game that Baltimore had, you're trying to develop Lamar Jackson. He's another weapon in the run game. You get L. Bell in there, that'll give him. He'll do great in that run game. Plus, it's another receiver for Lamar Jackson, especially coming out of the backfield. It'll be more of a comfort thing for Lamar Jackson just to help him come along. Also, it'll give L. Bell 2 games a year, maybe even 3 against the Steelers, man. That would be a great storyline. Now, will it happen? I don't know. Baltimore, they're not the highest up there in cap room, but they might make it happen. L. Bell might be like, no, it's not even about the money. I just want to play against the Steelers. So we're going to put the win total at 10. With this team, 10 wins, I feel like that's enough. So after we simulate, Madden loves Lamar Jackson because every time I simulate, he throws for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. He only had 9 picks, completed 66% of his passes. Let me stop talking so fast. Madden loves Lamar Jackson. So L. Bell ran for the most yards he's run for yet, 1,471 with 13 touchdowns on 261 carries. Looks like a great fit to me. But, we'll see, man. Receiving stats, again, they don't really account. I'd said that 3 or 4 times. 5 for 119 and 1 touchdown. He had a great year, okay? So now let's check the Steelers, see what they did over there with Connor and all these guys. So Smith-Schuster had over 900 yards. You see AB did as well. James Conner ran for 943 yards. Now he misses 1,000 a lot, but he's always like right there. He does. He gets his touchdowns. He had 10 touchdowns. Great job by him. Now we'll go and check Big Ben's stats. Threw for another 3,700 again. 29 touchdowns, 11 picks. But did the Ravens make the playoffs? Did L. Bell change life in Baltimore, right? Because the stats look great. But if you don't make it to the playoffs, it don't really matter. The Browns won the division again at 11-5. That's the third time they've won the division 11-5. The Ravens come in second at 9-7, do make the playoffs, and the Steelers and the Bengals tie for third and fourth, whatever you want to put at 8-8. But Baltimore does come up short in the first round against New England, 31-10. But hey, I feel like that's a great storyline for me. I would love to see L. Bell play against the Steelers twice a year. Hey, I'm all in for that. That's great TV right there. So right here in the divisional round, you see the Chargers beat Jacksonville, New Orleans beats Atlanta, and that rivalry. Cleveland has had New England's number in these simulations, man. But they do come up 14 points short against the Chargers. But they've been working New England. In the Super Bowl, New Orleans beat the Chargers. So the first three teams are teams he can go to off the back and win. Now, this last team, he can go to them. He can get a great payday, but they probably won't do anything anytime soon. And that's the New York Jets. So they have 90 to 100 million free in cap space. They can give him the money he wants. But that will kind of, I mean, they do have Sam Darnold on a rookie contract, so it's not too bad, but they don't have that many weapons. So again, if he wants the big stage of New York, if he wants the money, hey man, go to the Jets. You just won't win right away. I don't think. Now, they could surprise us. I don't see it, but it could. You know, you never know. But we'll see, man. We'll simulate, and we'll see what the stats say. We'll see if we make the playoffs, right? So we simulate Sam Darnold throws for 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 13 picks. Completed 58% of his passes. Good for the rookie, man. But L. Bell, not so good. Not so good. He played all 16 games, but he only ran for 676 yards and 8 touchdowns. So not great. Not great at all. Maybe the Jets aren't the best fit, but we know a lot of guys, if you go for the money, that's not the best situation all the time. You go for the money, that means you're sacrificing winning. But we showed you earlier that he has a few situations to where if he wants to win, he might not get the payday he wants other than Indy. But Baltimore and Houston, I mean, if you want to win, man, that's two teams right there for you. You're not going to get your payday. But you'll have a shot at the playoffs, and maybe even you go to Houston, maybe a shot at the Super Bowl, man. I don't know. Indy is coming up too. So right here, you see the Jets finished 6-10 last in the AFC East. I don't think that's a shock to anybody. And the Browns win the division. This is the fourth time at 11-5. The Browns, they coming, guys. We already know, okay? They coming. And they add Kareem Hunt to that backfield. Yeah, they on their way, man. As you see in the wild card round, Pittsburgh beats Houston, Atlanta, New England, I missed it. Pittsburgh beats Cleveland in the second round. And you see my name up there. If you see my name up there with Pittsburgh, that's the only way I could get Le'Veon Bell onto the team I was simulating. So I would have to control the Steelers. And let's say in this case, the Jets, and trade Le'Veon Bell from the Steelers to the Jets. Because other than that, since he was injured, I couldn't release him and stuff like that. But the Steelers won the Super Bowl without L. Bell, man, in this one. So I mean, hey, maybe life in Pittsburgh without L. Bell won't be that bad. I mean, 1-3 shot, but it is what it is, okay? So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, man. Again, it's great. I love doing this series, and I think you guys enjoyed as well. But be down and leave down in the comment section who you love to see next in the Best Fit series. Again, Kyler Murray, I plan on doing Kyler Murray and Dwayne Haskins for sure, some draft prospects. But leave down in the comment section who you guys think would be great assets to the Best Fit series. And we'll make it happen, man. But again, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And till next time, man. Your boy Maturin Quietly out. God bless. I'll talk to you guys later.